How's it going, Talk Forest TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my review of Nottingham Forest 1, Blackburn 0 at the City Ground that's just taken place. So yeah, brilliant performance. I think it wasn't one of those ones that you'd look at and you'd say, oh, we played exceptional football, but the way that we managed to limit them to any meaningful attacks, the way that once we'd, sort of after the penalty, the way that we managed to sit back, hold in and grind out a win, get the ball forward, not really to try and attack, but just to get it away and then get back in the shape was brilliant. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. Delighted again for Myton, a second goal in a Forest shirt, well, second professional goal. And then, first goal at the City Ground. Obviously, it was a shame that we couldn't have been in there to experience that. But, yeah, still fantastic for him. And, yeah, another 3 points, another clean sheet. That's something that in this nice little run of form, I think it's 2 losses now in the last 13, which is absolutely exceptional, yeah, for Myton to win the game 1-0, to get his goal 1-0. Yeah, brilliant game all round. The only downside you have to say is probably the penalty. I think you look at it and there was no need for Samba to dive in. I think it was Nyambi. He was going to the byline. There was no way that he would be able to do anything with it. Samba brought him down, but he atoned for his error. A fantastic penalty save, and me and my dad were absolutely ballistic when that one was saved. Yeah, superb from Samba. Really made up for his error. If you dive into the stats, we had more shots in total in the game. I think that was probably one of the things that the only things we won in the game. In terms of an attacking sense. But we had less possession. They had 63% compared to our 37%. They had 200 more passes than us, but we didn't really give them much of a chance to do much with it. They obviously had that chance where they struck the post. One or two shots from distance that Samba dealt with, and then obviously that penalty. But I think other than that, really, nothing that they did really troubled us. I think it was quite an easy one for us to deal with. We had to dig in, we had to do what we needed to do, and it was a bit of a nervy last, 10, 15 minutes. But we did what we needed to do. We sat in, we were regimented, we were strong, we did what we needed to do, and yeah, exceptional from the boys. That's something that we can really see since Houghton's come in and he's really made his mark on the team. We've gone from being a team who, look at that Brentford game. They were so easy to break through us. It wasn't really hard at all for them. You look at other games at the start of the season, where you look at Bournemouth away, we were really easy to break down there. You look at last season, and this was a very similar performance to what we expected, where we had less than 50% possession. We were quite defensive, got our goal, did what we needed to do defensively, and I think, you look at this one and it was, brilliant. Really disciplined performance, and a performance that you can really be proud of. We don't need to win every game by 3 or 4 goals. 1-0 is all we need. We need just that one goal. Then once we've got something to protect, we protect everything that we've got. And it's something that you really notice, with a Chris Houghton side. You saw it with his Brighton side. They had the ability to get a goal, but they had the ability to sit back, be regimented, be a little bit more pragmatic once getting that goal, and really just sound out the game. And brilliant from Forest. They absolutely superb. It wasn't a case of score and then defend like you see with Jose Mourinho sides. They get that goal and they look to sit back for the rest of the game. That wasn't really what we were trying to do. We were looking to try and score 1 or 2 more goals, but once the time came where we had to change up our style of play, we had to be a bit more defensive. We really were able to do that. You saw Garner coming back defensively. He took off he took off Knockout, brought on Blackett, and I think Blackett did well. He's had his criticisms at Forest. He had poor performances. You look at Barnsley away in the cup, the EFL Cup, first game of the season. He's had other games where he's been really poor, not really been up to the standard. But in this one, brilliant. I think he came on and he was really wise with what he did, really streetwise. You know, you probably say one or two things he did was a little bit poor in terms of that cross when he first came on. Poor cross, could have allowed them to get a quick goal kick and get forward. But other than that, I think defensively he did really well, and he was a really streetwise performance from him. Did what was expected of him, and yeah, he really plays with that one. In terms of man of the match, it's a really difficult one. I'm not really too sure at the minute if I'm going to be doing a player ratings video. That'll be up to Dan once I send him over this one. But yeah, I think there's a few players who could state their claim. I think Garner was good. I don't know if he was up to the standard that we've seen him recently. His pattern was a little bit off, but when he needed to come back defensively and really put the work in, he did that. Figueiredo, I think he had a really good game. Put himself on the line when we needed to sit back a little bit. Worrell again made some really good tackles. Ribeiro and Christie were much better today, much better than what we've seen of them recently. That was, you know, they were really at fault in the week, and they really stepped up their performance today. Really pleased from those two, and I think Christie going forward was a real menace today, and defensively didn't really make one or two, didn't really make many mistakes at all, and a performance that you can be really proud of if you're Cyrus Christie today. And you know what? I don't really know. Does Christie deserve man of the match? I don't know. You look at the attacking players, and you look at Murray was all right. Knockout played well before coming off. You look at Kravinovic, he was pretty decent. Mighton got his goal. I'd say probably man of the match for me if he'd played on a little bit longer. I think he was taken off a little bit too early, really, to be given a chance of being man of the match. You look in the midfield, Cafu played well. Garner wasn't at his best, but still did well. You know what? I'm going to give it to Cyrus Christie today. The amount of stick that man gets for the poor performances, even from myself, you know, there were times of this season where I said he couldn't even cross his legs going forward, and defensively he was a bit of a liability. He was really out of shape. But today I think he was really good, and had a really good performance from me, and I'd give him man of the match. You know, in terms of performance where you don't really have many standout players, but you see the players all coming together and just doing what they needed to do. And I think, yeah, Cyrus Christie or Figueiredo, I think for me, definitely man of the match. But I'll give it to Cyrus Christie just because of the amount of hate that the man gets. Not, I won't say hate, but the amount of criticism and stick that he gets for his performances. Today is a performance you can really be happy with, and a performance that, as Forest fans, we've got to big him up. You know, you can pull players down when they're not having good games, but you've got to recognise them when they're playing well. And he was really good for me today, and I think deserved to be man of the match. So yeah, Forest plough on, another win, another clean sheet. That's 2-1 or 1-0 wins against Blackburn in the league this season. You know, brilliant stuff from Forest, and real performances that we can maybe expect next season. You know, I think if we'd have got in shooting at the start of the season, this season could have a lot of a real different complexion to it, a different shape to it. We could be higher up higher up the table. Yeah, I just think, you know, really good performance. So I'm proud to be a Forest fan to watch. You know, it was a battling performance, and a performance where, you know, you could see that everyone was playing for the shirt, playing for the badge, and yeah, brilliant performance. Good to see Yates back. I think, you know, in games like this, you kind of need a Yates who loves the club. He can put himself on the line. I think he's done a lot better, really, under Houghton, to keep his head. There was one or two things you saw at that Reading game when he got a red card, but I think that was kind of needed to be done. You know, you saw against Sabri last season, and at the start of the season, you'd be putting bets on when he'll be getting a yellow card. But today, I think he was a lot better and a lot more mature when he came off the bench. So yeah, 1-0 Forest, fantastic performance. I mean, man of the match, I'd give it to Cyrus Christie. And yeah, we're on to the next game. I think we've got Rotherham at home. I don't know if I'll be able to get round to watching that one because I am busy on Tuesday nights, unfortunately. But as much as I can, I'll catch. And if I can do a video, then I will. So yeah, if you did enjoy, smash the like button. Subscribe to Talk Forest TV, TFTV Extra, and Dan at TFTV if you haven't already. And come on, you Reds, get in.